identified a number of cases there where that actually is the case. So all those incidents vary massively in terms of the circumstance. But actually, to demonstrate the complexity, there are also some really obvious links between the cases I've just talked about. They're all in Walsall. They're all where we live. They all involve knives. They all resulted in the tragic and needless loss of life. All have caused immense and unimaginable heartache to those that they've touched, the families, friends, and communities. But maybe less obviously, and certainly less reported, is they all involve decisions. People involved all made decisions. Might have been a split second, but it was a decision nonetheless. And a decision that ended a number of lives, not just of the victims, but of also, as we've already heard, the people that love and their family and the people that are close to them, changed forever. So as a police commander for Walsall, I am, as you would imagine, and quite rightly, routinely asked, what are the police doing about knife crime? And as we've already heard from Wendy, there is a huge amount that is ongoing, not just from the police, but from partners, and more importantly, from the community. Because as we've already touched on today, this is a whole community approach that is required to tackle the issue that is knife crime. And actually it's broader than knife crime, it's violence. The knife is the tool, it's the weapon, it's awful and it's sickening, but it's violence. And that's what we are tackling, and that's what we're here today, to try and address predominantly young people, but it's not just young people, and their willingness to resort to needless violence. So when I'm asked that question, I will always give a really, really clear answer, which I've just alluded to. This is never going to be resolved or solved by the police. This isn't something we're going to arrest our way out of or stop and search our way out of. And success for me does not look like more convictions for murder, for wounding, or for carrying a knife. That actually looks like not success, it looks like failure. Because I don't want people getting hurt. I don't want young people carrying knives. I want to prevent, rather than, as we've already heard, cure, solve. That's not what I want. So this is why I'm really pleased to be here today. Because programs like Full Circle around tackling the cause, as well as the symptoms, but ultimately the cause. I'm going to just lift and shift something that, if I'm stealing someone from your program, I apologise, but something when I was looking through the literature really jumped out and said, this is why we need to be doing what we're here today doing. So the program is evidence-based and focused on family functioning. We've already heard about the importance of family. I was having a conversation before this event started. We cannot underestimate the importance of family and upbringing. It forms who we are, it forms our decision making, it gives us that strength and ability, it underpins everything, it underpins who we are. Not everybody has that. Peer pressure. We talk about gangs. I want to talk about group culture because it's not just about identified gangs, it's about that pressure when you're in a group and you feel the burning need to do something you might not necessarily want to do, but you feel like you have no choice. We need to give people choices. Talk about antisocial behaviour. That can range from kids playing football and kicking a ball against a wall to more extreme, and then it results in violence. Substance misuse. We all know that drugs and alcohol, they're not new. There are new and wicked forms of drugs and alcohol that create even more risk, but actually when people are under the influence of substances, they have even less control and are also more likely to make bad decisions. Violent behaviour speaks for itself, its impact. Why do people resort to using it? And then more latterly, as we grow, child exploitation, our young people. What is it our young people go through? As I've said, I'm not 19, I am 43. What I went through as a young person, young people today are going through something totally different. The internet, the joys and the dangers of social media, the pressures and the challenges that they bring, we need to understand and we need to take on board and factor into our solutions. I'm also going to lift a quote from your literature, because I do like to steal other people's works, but this was the bit that really resonated with me, and this is the bit that says absolutely bang on. So, this programme is designed, and I'm going to quote, develop an individual's consequential thinking, decision-making and problem-solving skills, in order for them to make well-informed, positive choices. So as I said, I've been an officer for 22 years, give or take. I've worked all over the force, policing what are increasingly diverse communities of West Midlands, and the scale and nature of the challenges that policing faces, as you all know, change. Irrespective though of my role or the area I've policed, the absence of an individual's ability to make, and I'll quote, well-informed choices has without doubt been behind most of, if not all, the crime I've been responsible for investigating. So if we get this bit right, and I would suggest we need to get this bit right, the impact and the benefit is huge. As an organisation, and the Chief would love this if it was here, we aim to prevent crime, protect the public and help those in need. That's our motto. We have always, and never is it more true today, needed community support to do that. You know? The community are our eyes and our ears and help us to keep people safe. So this programme is not only a legacy in James's name, but it offers the opportunity to provide others with the ability to make better decisions. And by others, I'm referring to potential offenders there, people who are on the wrong track, people who lack the ability